Capricorn 25, an Oriental-rug dealer. Much of what we have in the way of comforts really express inappropriate greed or need, and it's easy to understand why we would be advised to give up some of these pleasures if we approach a spiritual path seriously. And for a while that's good. It is good to give up everything for a while just to see whether or not you're addicted to it or habituated to it, and just to check that you can give it up. Most assuredly, if you're caught up in the need for something, whether that's food or a behavior or company, if you need anything, this is not the optimal expression of your spiritual nature. This is why spiritual retreats tend to be less comfort oriented than normal life. We tend to give up certain foods. We give up certain practices on spiritual retreat just to bring us into a different state of being, a state of being which is very unusual outside of the retreat context. So it is appropriate to practice a measure of austerity sometimes in your life, and to do this once a year isn't a bad idea. This is what the idea of Easter is based on, isn't it? You go through a period of 40 days of Lent where you abstain from certain things as you approach Easter, because you want Easter to have that special oomph of spirituality. And this particular degree, Capricorn 25, is teaching us that even though this wisdom is appropriate, nevertheless we mustn't let it go too far. And this, of course, reminds us of the story of Buddha. The story was of a prince, Gautama, who didn't know about ordinary hard life. Harsh life was unknown to him. He lived in a palace. And he went out one day and he saw the harshness of life. He saw death, he saw sickness. And he decided to leave the palace and do the very opposite. And he became an ascetic. He went off into the woods and he ate almost nothing. His ribs were showing. He was on the point of starvation every day of his life, and he was hanging out with other ascetics, and that didn't take him anywhere either. He didn't get more spiritually advanced by doing that. And therefore he came up with this idea of the middle way, neither luxury nor austerity. Capricorn 25 is teaching that principle. The image here is of a prayer mat. The Oriental-rug dealers, they tend to sell prayer mats rather more frequently than the big rugs. And these prayer mats are just a little bit of luxury when you're kneeling in the mosque. It gives you some comfort for your knees, which otherwise would be in great pain on the harsh stone floor. And the prayer mat is dressed also in the colours and the patterns of the tradition of Islam that we're talking about in this particular case, but it's just an example. So blended together then is a sense of tradition and sacredness and comfort, and it sets a mood within which prayer and meditation are supported. We cannot find that mood if we're constantly aware of our being hungry or uncomfortable. It just won't arise. We do not want our spiritual path to be harsh. Why should it be? Why would you choose your spirituality to be an expression of harshness? It's your choice. There are so many choices available. Why choose a harsh one? That's what Capricorn 25 is suggesting to us.